Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So this is going to be a video van tour about the new home, the new GMC 2500 that I have acquired to live in. And if you've watched my last video, I currently just got rid of my home of many years, the Chevy Express Extended. This van is a little bit older, but I like older vehicles in general anyway. This thing has a few things wrong with it, but it's nothing that we can't fix up. And I believe that we can turn this thing into the most badass hot rod van home anybody's ever seen. With that being said, there is a few things that I didn't know about when I did buy it. Buying a vehicle in the winter time can be like that, and also not being able to really take it on the road because, when you're looking at a vehicle, most times it's not really insured or whatever. So that kind of threw me for a loop. The transmission being not fully functional, that was not one of the things I was aware of. I knew that it had a flex plate crack, but when I drove it around the yard, everything seemed to be good. That being said, it's a 4-speed, and I only got it to 2nd gear, never realizing that 3rd gear didn't work. So that will be one of the big things I will be replacing here very, very soon. But for now, we're going to get right into the van tour and show you guys a little bit of what is the new home that we call the Drifter. Okay everybody, let's start right here at the back. I know a lot of you seen this damage here in the back door, but that really doesn't concern me much because I have some customization I want to do in mind. Also, I really like these louvers because when I get the window louvers, it'll really match and blend in. As we come around the side, you can see that the body is relatively in really good shape. There is a couple nicks and dings, but I mean for a 96, it's holding up really well. I'm not exactly fully sold on the blue color, at least this color, but it is growing on me. The little decals along the side remind me of like a Greyhound bus seat or something like that. These were not the mirrors that it originally came with. These mirrors actually came from my old white van that we recently scrapped. I like this square style a lot more than the original round ones it had. It also comes with 6-bolt rally style wheels. The tires are not in the best shape, and I'm also looking to come up to a bigger size wheel, say like an 18. Coming around to the front, I have plans to paint the gray plastics on the grill and also remove this bra thing. I just never really been a fan of it, and the sticker will eventually go onto the dash once I do something with the dash. I will need to replace the front window as well coming up here in the future, but for right now it should be okay. It's hard to see from this angle, but I'll get you guys a better clip of it once I get in there. Over time, I plan to do a lot of modifications to this van, including doing something with a different style bumper and skirtings around the side, but for now, this is how she looks. A subscriber recently got these handles brand new off my wish list, so when we go to do something with the body, it'll all match with fresh looking black plastics. Here's a better look at the decals along the side. You can totally see the 90s in it. Here is also a good look at the tires. As I mentioned, they're not in the best shape, but I do plan to get into a bigger sized wheel, and then we will get fresh tires for it then. Coming around to the side door, you can see I have this piece of foam blocking where it used to be a window. Somebody, I guess, smashed the window out and they just taped it all up and left it full of tape. So I decided to just clean it up and put this in to make it look less noticeable. Being that it is a dark colored van, sure, the paint has definitely taken its toll, but the sides look absolutely beautiful and provides a good base to work off of for what I have in plan. But there's no doubt, since '96, this thing has definitely seen a few hot summers here in Alberta. As a lot of you know, I was rushed into living into this van, but in van life, we do with what we have. So as you can see right here, I did put the plastic back on, but I did not cover the floor yet because I want to get at this surface rust and really give it a good painting and seal it off before covering it up. And as you can see, most of it is really good. It's just a little bit of surface rust on certain little areas. This chrome door handle actually came from my white van, as did the seat and bracket that is currently in there. One of the other things I was unaware of was the power steering pump is on its way out, so I've been nursing it with some Lucas oil and it seems to be holding on. I will put a new power steering pump in it, but for right now, we've got a few other things that we need to tend to. Not this, but a few other things. Moving on to the headliner. The headliner actually came from my white van as well. We quickly ripped it out and put it in here just so that it felt more like a van on the inside. Moving over to the passenger side of the van, in the front will be the power box that I'm planning. I will not have a passenger seat. With that being said, this crank will be blocked off. So I plan on putting a power window in so that I can simply control the power of the window from over on that side versus leaning over. Getting more into the power box, as you can see, currently I don't have anything connected. And that's due to the rush move-in that we had to do and getting everything out of the white van and jumping straight into this thing. This is the 30 amp Renogy charge controller. It allows alternator charging and solar charging, but I am looking to upgrade to the 50 amp before fully installing the power system. Also hiding underneath is my 700 watt Renogy inverter, and all of this and more will be all hidden in a desk. Currently, I mainly need the power to run my Starlink, and that's what's been a big hold up on getting videos out to you guys. I have a few drawings that I will share up, and it shows the desk basically going from this height, blocking off this area of the van, but only going far enough so I can get my doghouse out. A subscriber had mentioned to be careful I didn't block it off, and I thought that was a great idea. I've also recently been thinking about putting my 12-volt fridge in this power box area as well to allow for a little kind of step so I can sit down and put my shoes on at the side doors. Also, a huge thank you to the subscriber who got this off my wish list as well. I really love this thing. Back to the drawing. As you can see, I have it planned to go around the doghouse so I can get it out, and the 12-volt fridge kind of being used as a seat for when I get out. But I'd like to have a desk here with all of this power and hopefully more hidden underneath. I also decided to do a top view drawing as well, showing the battery layout, speakers, and overall van layout as well on where everything will kind of go. And then on this page, I did my best to do a 3D drawing of what it will look like looking back. The one thing I am really looking forward to is adding a 12-volt instant hot water shower to the van and my speakers back behind the driver's seat. I will have a dresser going along similar to how I had before and the same bed layout as my old van. The only difference is this van is a lot shorter. This and another reason are why the power system will be going up front this time in this van's configuration. Also, I have another reason on why the power system will not be going into the back. I will, however, put a charging plug back there and a on and off switch for my lights. Moving into the back, opening these beautiful barn doors that on my white van, as you remember, could never open or just decided to be a Lamborghini door. We see where these stickers are. This is where I plan to put the 12-volt hot water shower. That will probably be one of my most favorite pieces I'll get to add to the van. And now that all my doors are working, it'll make it really nice for a shower. Right here I have the old white van's battery I managed to hang on to just in case I ever needed it. Also some toiletry, some tools. along with some used and new oil that I will be adding to the van as I go. I'll just need an oil filter and then I'm ready to go for the oil, and I might change the transmission fluid one more time or possibly just pull it right out. As we come in further, you see my little collapsible sink that is right now just covered in whatever. Double use for everything. It's a sink and a catch-all bucket. One of the first things I'll be doing coming up is probably hooking up the power system so I can run the Starlink. As you can see, and as I mentioned before, it's currently not hooked up. So that's one of the things I'll need to do because I can't run Starlink off of just my cigarette lighter. Charging my phone is the only ability that I have right now until I can hook up the entire system. Having no power definitely brings me back to the beginning days of vehicle dwelling. Here we have the big box of stuff that you guys have all sent in from my wish list for me to install all on this new van. And as we go through the videos, you will see everything come out of that box and be used on every part of the van. Currently, this is the laundry spot that I'm using for now, next to the temporary dresser drawer that a subscriber brought me the day I was building everything out. And it actually works perfect and is basically the same size as the dresser that will go in there once fully built. I like having my water jug accessible so I can just grab it and pour up a drink anytime I need to. And also making it maneuverable for the shower that will eventually go there. I will have some sort of a shower tent, but also the awning sliding solar panel idea I have in mind. You guys will all see in videos coming up. Moving more towards the bed, I have a little nightstand, also given by a subscriber, and also my poo bucket, and a single burner stove for when I do cook stuff. But for the most part, I eat sandwiches. Underneath the bed, I have a few things stored, such as a laundry bag, papers, and my army cot. Also, my little stockpile of Metamucil and Raisin Bran, as I do have a stomach issue. We always keep wipes handy, a little catch basket, and also my little drill battery light thing. I might not have a Blue Eddy, but I've got a DeWalt battery. And I'm really hoping it lasts until I can get my power system set up, because I currently have no real way of charging that. But for a temporary lighting system, I think it'll work. This is the bed area, and the walls and the bed frame all came from the white van, so it looks basically the same as it did in that van. I have my little desk spot here just for now until I can get the front built out. Also my little Starlink unit sitting up here on the wall away from all of the madness. With that little modem being basically my lifeline, I really want to take care of it and make sure it doesn't get scratched up. These black covers I use for privacy at night when I can remember to put them up, and for the daytime they just sit there. I have this curtain also to block off the front, but sometimes I forget. Some people get really nervous when everything isn't completely blacked out, but when you've been living this lifestyle long enough, you really don't worry about those little things. As a friend of mine once said, just don't trip. As you can see in the back, I do have my little dream catcher. Over time, the bed basically becomes a huge catch for everything. So getting back my organization and having everything have its own spot will be very exciting for me. As you can see, the bed is just cobbled together wood that I pulled out of the white van. It works for now, but it's not the sturdiest. Now we can go on to the back of the van. I've never been so excited to use the side doors on my van, but now having access to them again, every time I use them, it makes me smile. Coming around to the back exterior, I have a plan for this, which will basically remove the license plate from this location and put it into the bumper, leaving just the handle to open the door. I like the customness and it looks more clean. I will probably rob one of those and put it here since I have a whole new kit. As you can see, my temporary window blockers work pretty good, and you can see the difference there. I like a little bit of accessibility through it, so I can see a little peek hole to whoever pulls up behind me. Now that we get inside, you'll see the new set of screwdrivers I have screwed to the door. I really like having those things there, and we've all actually been using them a lot. So this came from a friend of mine, Big Z, here on YouTube. And he suggested that it might be good for the window that is smashed out to replace, so I may look into doing that. As you can see under the bed, I have an assortment of tools and things that I like to keep handy, and also this wonderful ladder. Under the bed, you can see I have a tarp handy and a few other things, along with my 3-ton jack. Also hidden way at the back is some kill mat that I will slowly be adding to the body of the van. I do have a number of other things like an air pump and a few other things just stuffed under. On the other side, you can see I have Mr. Blur's ratchet set and the 2 toolboxes that came from subscribers, and a good old magnet tray. In this little pocket, I have degreaser for cleaning up the engine, a few other little tools, my booster cables, and a respirator for future projects on the van coming up. None of this build is screwed down or bolted at all. It is totally floating, and I can pull it out at any time. The only thing that is screwed together is the pieces of wood itself, as you can see under here. But overall, there is no screws into the body of the van, making it a completely temporary build that I can pull out at any time when I'm ready to build this portion of the van. But I think this just goes to show that once again, someone can take everything they own, some scrap wood they may have laying around, slap it all together into the back of a van, and create a tiny home for themselves, good enough to live until we can build everything out properly. Even though jumping into this van a month early wasn't what I had in planned, this lifestyle has definitely taught me is patience and to do with what you have where you are. Once again, huge shout out to Randy for helping me out with these tools. Also, here is a better look at the Dollarama window blockers and some tape. It works. On the back door, you could see here that the van was actually on propane at one point, but since then they have removed that system and switched it back to gasoline. Underneath, you can see that it has an awesome trailer hitch for future plans as well. The hitch will stay, but I plan to hide it into the new bumper. I almost forgot. Let's see if we can get you a good shot of the crack in my window. Yeesh, it appears these windows are filthy, but such is van life. So give me a moment, I'll clean up these windows and we'll come right back to it. Of course you knocked the doghouse off. Dang it. I'll get that in a moment. Okay, now that that's on and the windows are clean, it should be a little easier to see the crack in the front window. It's not as bad as cracks that I've had in my window before, but it will be needing to get replaced. So eventually we'll do that as well. But for right now, it'll do. I've grown to love this van quite quickly. It's kind of everything that I wished the white van would have been. 2 feet shorter, a lot cleaner, more reliable, and most of all, more power. My white van had a 4.8 liter LS engine. This one comes equipped with a 5.7 liter small block Chevy. And even though the tag says that factory, it came with a 305 since '96, we can imagine that this thing has seen a few different heartbeats. And I look forward to one day putting a fresh new one in of those myself in the future. Just like most 90s Chevy pickup trucks, this comes equipped with an underhood light and also the dreaded side post battery terminals. So I will be swapping that out very soon with a really cool idea that I think you all will quite enjoy. But that's about her, you know. She's an old van with good bones, a good heart, and unlike my white van, this front suspension hasn't been completely pulled apart by tow truck drivers dropping it off of their trucks. And I hope with every new part that we install, we can make it that much more reliable and that less likely to end up anywhere near a tow truck. With this being a fresh, new home to me and my new pride and joy, I look forward to putting all that I can into making this thing showroom worthy, and most of all, something I can truly be proud of. So stick around. If you enjoy this kind of content, be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe so you can stay in touch and updated to everything we do, making this into the most badass hot rod machine anyone's ever seen. Alrighty, you guys, let's go for a ride in this beast and show you guys exactly what it feels like. And no, if you're asking, the transmission is not fixed yet. That is a work in progress. For right now, it's my home. It rolls, it moves, even if it's only in second gear. You know, it's almost like that movie. But my quote is, I live my life 2 gears at a time. You know what I'm saying? So let's show you guys exactly kind of what it's like. I'm not far from where I'm gonna park for the night. But believe it or not, in the city, stop and go traffic, you know, you could do all right. I don't really need to leave second gear too often. In any case, and if I do, or something happens, I do have those triangles to let people know I'm broken down, or use my 4-ways when I can't keep up to speed, you know. Second, it does slip, but I'm taking my time with it, you know. And I know a lot of you think that the kilometers are high, but high kilometers never scared me as long as the van drives straight and true and has been well maintained throughout its life. mind you, we only were able to do that because we're going downhill, boy. Yeah. But you could just tell the potential she has to be a pretty quick van, you know, once this transmission gets all fixed up with a little shift kit and such. She gonna be pretty quick. Yeah, you can hear it. And as we pull back into the parking lot, grab a coffee, this ends off our evening and also this van tour. I'd like to thank you guys all so much for watching up until this point and following me along on this journey. I look forward to taking you all along on each part of the build series of this van and also all of the adventures that will come with living in this thing full time. If you would like to help support the channel and this van's DIY van build, you could always follow us over on Patreon or YouTube memberships. Get real-time updates and also get notified early when there's a video premiere about to happen or a pop-up live stream. But until next time, you guys, remember, never give up on living life because life is the most precious thing we have. See you all in the next one.